I stood quietly in the corner of the big ballroom, watching my sister spin around in her $25,000 wedding dress while my credit score slowly sank. The sparkling chandeliers lit up her shiny tiara, and her laughter echoed across the marble floor. It was the same laugh she used 2 months ago when she begged me to co-sign a loan for her. My name is Barbara. I'm the irresponsible sister. The boring one. The one everyone depends on when there's a problem. And tonight, I'm also the one carrying a loan that feels like a ticking time bomb. Barbara, darling, why aren't you dancing? My mom, Margaret, asked. Her voice had that usual disappointed tone. She pointed toward the dance floor where Lily and her new husband, Kevin, were dancing like they were the only 3 people in the world. Someone has to make sure the vendors get paid, I said, tapping my tablet. Unless you want to handle the final payments? She scrunched her nose and adjusted her expensive shawl. That's her thing, sweetie, handling money. Lily's always been our creative one. I held back the words I'd been swallowing for 28 years. Instead, I smiled and looked at the loan document again, checking for the 100th time to make sure the clause was still there, hidden deep in the fine print like a trap. Remember when she first showed us the venue? My mom continued, thinking I was just lost in happy memories. She just knew it was the one, worth every penny. Every penny. All 80,000 of them. I remembered that day too, but not the way she did. Please, Barbara. Lily had cried that day, mascara running down her face. The bank won't approve us unless someone with good credit cosigns. You're the only one who can help. That's because I actually pay my bills, I had said. It's what family does, our dad had added from his chair, not even looking up from his newspaper. Your sister would do the same for you. I nearly laughed at that. Lily never did anything for anyone but herself. I swear I'll make every payment, Lily had begged, holding my hands. Kevin's business is about to take off. We're going to be rich. Please, please, please. Now, I watched Kevin whisper something in Lily's ear, making her giggle. Then he looked across the room, saw me, and raised his champagne glass with a wink. I raised my glass too, wondering if Kevin already knew about the clause in the loan. I also wondered if either of them had even read the contract before signing it. Just then, Mrs. Thomas, the wedding planner, appeared beside me. The photographer wants to know if we're still doing sunset photos on the terrace. Of course we are, Lily said, suddenly appearing and pulling Kevin along by the hand. Barbara, you're in them too. You have to be. You made all this happen. If only she knew how true that was. I let her pull me outside. The setting sun made everything glow, including Lily's flawless face as she posed near the railing. Our parents joined us, and the photographer arranged us all like we were dolls in a picture-perfect family. A perfect wedding. The Paris dreams. Closer together, the photographer called. Big smiles. This is a celebration. I smiled, thinking about the email I got that morning from Amy, my friend in the legal department. It's solid, she had written. The clause kicks in the moment they miss a payment. If they leave the country without setting up a plan, the full responsibility goes back to the original co-signers, your parents. They signed it too, remember? Oh, I remembered. I remembered every signature, every tear-filled plea, every guilt trip that led to this moment. One more, the photographer said. Everyone say happily ever after. Lily wrapped her arms around me, her breath smelling like champagne. I love you so much, sis. You're the best. The absolute best. Over her shoulder, I saw Kevin checking his phone. His face turned serious for a second before he slid it back into his pocket. 2 weeks ago, I had seen him book 2 one-way tickets to a country with no extradition agreement. He didn't know I knew. That night, back in my hotel room, I opened my laptop one last time. The loan document lit up the screen. All the signatures were there. Lily's fancy handwriting, Kevin's confident scribble, my parents' rushed scrawls, and my own neat name below them. The clause waited there like a sleeping snake. I touched the screen lightly. Let's see who pays now. My phone buzzed. A message from Lily. Thank you for everything. You're the best sister anyone could ask for. Love you forever. I didn't reply. Instead, I closed the laptop and poured myself a drink. The real wedding gift hadn't arrived yet, but it would. And I was ready to wait as long as it took to deliver it. 3 months later, I sat at my favorite coffee shop, staring at my phone's call history. 35 missed calls to Lily, 17 to Kevin, and 53 texts that no one answered. "They're still ignoring you?" Amy said, sitting down across from me and sliding over 3 fresh lattes. "Huh, how many times have you checked Instagram today?" I picked up my phone, opened the app, and showed Amy the screen. Lily's latest post was up. She and Kevin were smiling on a tropical beach, holding fancy drinks. The caption read, "Living our best life. Debt-free and following our destiny. Chakra blessed. New life. No regrets." Amy tapped her shiny nails on the table. "You knew they'd do this." "Knowing doesn't make it hurt less," I replied. Then I opened my messages. "Look what my mom sent me this morning." The text read, "The bank called again. Please handle this, Barbara. You know how your dad's blood pressure gets when he's stressed." "Have you told them about the clause yet?" Amy asked. "Not yet. I'm waiting." My phone buzzed. A new voicemail from Lily. I played it on speaker. "Hey sis. Sorry I've been hard to reach. The Wi-Fi here is just terrible. Anyway, about those payment reminders you keep sending, I know you'll figure it out. You're so good with money stuff. Don't work too hard. Love you." Amy raised an eyebrow. The nerve of her. "Wait for it," I said, holding up a finger. The message continued. "Oh, and could you stop calling so much? It feels kind of desperate. Kevin says it's messing with our vibe. Thanks. Kisses." I deleted the voicemail while Amy whispered something rude under her breath. "You sure you want to go through with this?" she asked. "Legally, you're in the clear. Morally, let them sink." "It's not about watching them sink," I said, opening my email. "It's about making sure they don't walk away dry." My phone buzzed again, another text from my mom. "Barbara, please call me. The bank is getting very serious." I showed Amy the email I'd drafted for the loan agency. It had the contract attached, with the clause clearly highlighted. I also included proof that Lily and Kevin had left the country. "Send it," Amy said firmly. "Stop dragging this out." I hesitated, my finger hovering over the send button. "Once you do this, you'll finally be free," she added, reaching over to squeeze my hand. "Remember what they did to you, your dad's medical bills, the college fund they used for Lily's art school, the down payment for her first car." Just then, my phone lit up with another Instagram notification. Lily had posted again. "Some people just can't handle seeing others living their dreams. You are toxic. Family boundaries. Blessed." I hit send. "Done," I said. I felt strangely empty inside. "Now we wait," Amy said, lifting her coffee cup. "To karma," she added. "To contracts," I replied, tapping my cup against hers. That evening, I sat alone in my apartment, watching the sunset through the window. Then my phone rang. It was Christian, my ex-boyfriend. "I just saw Lily's posts," Christian said without any small talk. "Are you okay?" "Why wouldn't I be?" I replied calmly. Christian had been there during the worst times, when I drained my savings to pay for my dad's heart surgery. He saw me struggle while Lily went on a surprise vacation to Europe. "Because you always take care of everyone," he said gently. "And no one takes care of you." I thought about the email I had sent, the one with the clause that would soon land in my parents' laps. "That's changing now," I said. "Good," he replied. "It's about time." After we ended the call, I opened my laptop and checked my inbox. The loan agency had already replied. "Dear Miss Barbara, we confirm we've received your documents regarding the liability clause. Our legal team is reviewing and will take the next steps. Expect contact within 72 hours. My phone buzzed one last time. A message from Kevin. "Real nice, Barbara. Lily's crying. Hope you're happy." I typed back. "You should have read the fine print." Then I blocked both Lily and Kevin. I poured myself a glass of wine and opened a folder on my computer. Inside were years of records, receipts, bank transfers, proof of every dollar I gave my family. The total could have bought me a house. But instead, it brought me this moment. finally standing up to the people who had taken me for granted for so long. My mother's old words echoed in my mind. It's what family does. I smiled into my wine glass. Yes, Mother, I whispered. This is exactly what family does. I remembered the day I helped write that clause. It was 2 months before the wedding. I was sitting in Amy's living room, surrounded by takeout containers and piles of paperwork. She had her lawyer friend on speakerphone. You want this to be airtight, the lawyer said. Something they won't notice, but that holds up in court. Amy refilled my wine glass. Tell him about the medical bills again. $30,000, I said. Everything I saved gone. All because Lily needed a soul-searching trip the same month my dad needed surgery. And the college fund? Amy added. Borrowed, I said. Never paid back. Lily's art school mattered more than my MBA. The lawyer thought for a second. We can make this work. The trick is to keep it simple so they won't question it, but strong enough to be legally binding. Now, sitting at my desk at work, I looked at the final version we had written. If the main borrower leaves the country without arranging a payment plan, all responsibility goes to the original co-signers, who agree to pay the remaining amount. Simple.
Clear.
Powerful. My office phone rang. Barbara speaking. It's Amy, she said. Just got the update from legal. Your parents are being contacted today. I checked my email, and just like I thought, there was a message from the loan company. As per Section 6.9 of the agreement, the responsibility has been transferred to Austin and Jerry. They will be contacted within 48 hours. How long do you think until? Amy started to ask, but then my phone lit up. My mother was calling. Gotta go, I said. It's starting. I let it ring 5 times before picking up. Hello, Mother. What is this? She shouted. These people are saying we owe $80,000. This has to be a mistake. No mistake, I said. Check your email. I sent you the contract. You signed it. I could hear her shuffling papers. We didn't. We only signed as witnesses. Read Section 6.9, I said calmly. More rustling. Then silence. You tricked us, she whispered. No, Mother. I learned from the best. Remember what you always told me? It's what family does. But your father, his blood pressure. He'll be fine, I said. Just like he was when I paid for his surgery and Lily was off posting selfies from Paris. That was different, she said. She needed to find herself. Yes, I remember. And now you need to find $80,000. She started crying.
Her tears used to break me.
I'd always rushed to fix things for her. But not anymore. Now they just made me feel tired. We'll call Lily, she sobbed. She'll fix this. I laughed. Good luck. Her number's been disconnected. This isn't you, Barbara. You're not this cold. Actually, this is me. The real me. The one who's done being treated like a bank. The line went quiet, except for her shaky breathing. Then she spoke softly. What do you want? I want you to pay the debt you signed for. I want you to face the consequences. I want you to know how it feels to be responsible just once. But we're your parents.
Yes.
And you taught me everything I know about family loyalty. I hung up and turned my phone off. Through my office window, I saw the city below. People were busy with their lives, dealing with their own struggles and betrayals. Then my computer pinged. A new email. It was from Lily. A new email address. You're controlling. You always have to win. Happy now? Mom's a mess, Dad's chest hurts, and it's all your fault. I never should have trusted you. You're dead to me. I forwarded the email to Amy with just 3 words, worth every penny. Her reply came back fast. Your sister's about to learn that karma accepts Venmo. I opened the bottom drawer of my desk and pulled out an old photo. Our last family vacation. Lily in the center like always. Our parents smiling at her. And me, standing off to the side, checkbook in hand, paying the hotel bill. My office door opened. My junior associate peeked in, looking nervous. Miss Barbara, I need a favor. Could you co-sign on the Miller account? It's just a formality. I looked at him, then at the photo, and then back at him. No, I said. I don't co-sign anything anymore. He blinked, clearly surprised by how direct I was. But it's just a standard form. So is paying your own bills, I said, turning back to my computer. Try that first. As he walked out, I picked up my phone and turned it back on. There were 16 missed calls from my parents, 7 new emails from Lily, and 1 text from Amy. How does it feel? I typed back. Like freedom. The collection agency didn't waste time. Just 2 days after the clause kicked in, my mother showed up at my office without warning. Her mascara was smeared from crying. They're threatening to put a lien on our house, she said, dropping into the chair across from me. Your childhood home, Barbara. I kept typing without looking up. You mean the same house you remortgaged to pay for Lily's art school? That childhood home. That was different. She had potential, she said. And I didn't. I looked her in the eye. Is that why you took my college fund? We borrowed it, she said weakly. Borrowing means you return it. I pulled up an old spreadsheet. Would you like to see the exact amount you still owe, with interest? My office phone buzzed. Miss Barbara, your 3 p.m. is here. Tell them I'll be 7 minutes, I replied. I turned back to my mother. The collection agency is being quite fair. They'll accept monthly payments on the $80,000. She wiped her tears with a fancy handkerchief, probably another gift from Lily, bought with someone else's money. Your father can't sleep. He keeps checking our bank accounts, trying to find money that just isn't there. Like I did when he needed surgery, I said. She flinched. That was years ago. Why are you still holding on to that? Because someone has to remember. Someone has to keep the receipts. My phone buzzed with a text from Lily. Mom's crying because of you again. You're so controlling. You always need to win. Happy now? I showed the message to my mother. Your perfect daughter sends her regards. She's scared, my mom said softly. She's still young. She's 29. I was 25 when I paid for Dad's surgery. But you're stronger, she said. You can handle things. I leaned back in my chair, letting that hang in the air. That's interesting, Mother. Tell me more about how being used makes me strong. She stood up quickly, her chair scraping the floor. I didn't raise you to be this heartless. You didn't raise me at all. You were too busy spoiling Lily. We'll lose everything, she whispered.
No.
You'll lose everything because you signed that contract. That's the difference. What do you want from us? She asked. I finally smiled. I want you to deal with the results of your choices. I want you to know what it feels like when no one comes to save you. My phone buzzed again. A video call from Lily. I answered and put it on speaker. You evil witch, she yelled, her face red with anger. Mom just called me crying. How could you do this to them? The same way you always did it to me, I said calmly. Except I used a contract instead of fake tears. We're family. Exactly, I said. And this is what family does, remember? Behind her, I saw Kevin pacing and talking fast on his phone. He looked stressed. Visa problems? I asked, pretending to be innocent. Lily's eyes widened. How did you? It's amazing what happens when your credit crashes and there's an international debt notice in your name. My mother gasped. You didn't. I didn't do anything, I said. Consequences. Wasn't that your favorite word, Mother? Right before asking me to fix another one of Lily's messes? Lily looked like she might cry. They're going to cancel our visas. Kevin's business deals are falling apart. Everything we built. You built nothing. I cut in. You ran away from your bills and your responsibilities, like always. The only difference now is there's no one left to clean it up for you. Girls, my mother pleaded. We can fix this. Barbara, if you just pay. No, I stood up. My 3 p.m. is waiting. You both know where the door is. Please, Lily cried. I'm your sister. They're your parents. Funny how that only matters when you need something. I ended the call and turned to my mother. The collection agency's number is on the letter they sent. I suggest you call them before they call you again. She walked to the door, then turned back. You'll regret this one day, when you need your family. I've needed my family many times, I said. Where were you? After she left, I sat in my quiet office. My hands were shaking a little. My phone buzzed. A text from Amy. Drinks tonight? You look like you need them. I typed back. Bring wine. And the contract, I want to frame it. Another text popped up, this one from my father. We didn't think you'd actually go through with it. I replied with just one line. That's always been your problem. Then I turned off my phone, straightened my desk, and called in my 3 p.m. meeting. I had real work to do. Bills don't pay themselves. Just ask my family. The family dinner was my mother's idea. Thursday dinner, like old times, she had said on the phone, sounding sweet but fake. We need to talk about everything like adults. I arrived right on time. My parents were already sitting at the table. All my favorite childhood dishes were laid out like a trap made of memories. Your father made your favorite lasagna, my mother said as she served me a big portion. Remember how you used to help him in the kitchen? I remember buying his heart medicine right after making that lasagna, I said, putting down my fork. Let's skip the memories and talk about why we're really here. My dad cleared his throat. The bank is getting serious. Banks usually are, especially when people don't pay them, I replied. We've looked at some options, my mom jumped in. We could sell the vacation house. The one I was supposed to inherit? I said, laughing. You mean the one you remortgaged to pay for Lily's wedding? You're not being fair, my dad said quietly. I pulled out a folder and placed it on the table. Let's talk about fair. Inside was a spreadsheet. Every dollar I ever gave them, carefully tracked with dates and reasons. Page 1. Dad's medical bills, $30,000. Page 2. Lily's art school, $50,000 from my college savings. Page 3. Lily's first car, $10,000. Should I keep going? I asked. My mom pushed the folder away. We're not here to dig up the past. No, I said. You're here because the collection agency won't stop calling. We raised you, my dad said. We gave you everything. You gave Lily everything, I said. I worked for everything I have. My phone buzzed. A text from Amy. How's the ambush dinner going? Before I could answer, my mom reached across the table and held my hand. Sweetheart, please. We can fix this together. For the family. The family? I pulled my hand back. Where was this family when I worked 2 jobs to pay for Dad's surgery while Lily was posting pictures from Europe? She was finding herself, my mom said softly. And now she's lost herself in another country, along with $80,000 of my money, I replied. My dad stood up, his face red. We didn't think you'd actually use the contract. We thought you'd understand. You thought I'd let it go again, I said. That I'd cover for them again. Family takes care of each other, my mom said. I stood up too, pushing away my untouched plate. Funny how that only works when I'm the one giving. We'll lose the house, my dad said quietly. Then sell the vacation house, I replied. But that was supposed to be your inheritance, my mom said. My inheritance? I raised my phone and showed them Lily's Instagram post, her and Kevin at the beach house last summer. You mean this inheritance? The one you let them stay in for free? They looked at each other, clearly feeling guilty. You knew, I said slowly. You knew they were planning to leave the country. My mom didn't say a word. That silence was all the answer I needed. You helped them plan it, I said. You thought I'd just pay off their debt, like I always do. You're stronger than Lily, my dad said quietly. You can handle these things. Not anymore, I said, picking up my purse. Call the collection agency. Set up a payment plan. Sell whatever you have to. I'm done handling your problems. Barbara, please, my mom called as I walked to the door. What will people think? I turned and looked at her. They'll think you're finally dealing with the consequences of your choices. How does that feel? Then I stepped outside. I sat in my car for a while, my hands shaking on the steering wheel. My phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number, Kevin, using a new phone. Got your little message about the visa issues.
Cute.
But you forgot something. I know things about your company. Things that could ruin your career. Want to rethink your move? I forwarded the message to Amy with 3 words. Time for phase 2. She replied right away. Let's bury them. Back at home, I poured myself a glass of wine and opened my laptop. I clicked on a folder labeled insurance. Inside were saved copies of emails Lily and Kevin had sent, messages about how they planned to skip out on the loan, talk about fleeing the country, and proof that my parents knew and went along with it. I started writing a new email to the loan agency's fraud team. I have information about a planned loan default. As my phone started ringing, my mother again, I ignored it and hit send. Sometimes, I whispered into the silence of my apartment. The best family dinner is the last one. It didn't take long for the tip to blow up. The next day, I was at my desk when Amy rushed into my office, holding up her tablet. "It's happening," she said, turning the screen to show me. Social media was full of the story. Someone had shared parts of the loan papers on a financial whistleblower site, and it was going viral. Lily's latest beach photo was flooded with comments. "Must be nice to live in luxury while avoiding your debt. How do you sleep at night, knowing your sister is paying for your life? Financial frauds pretending to live their best life."
My phone buzzed again. Kevin.
"What did you do? Our sponsors are pulling out." I typed back. "I didn't do anything. The truth did." Another notification came through, an email from my dad. The subject: "We need to talk." I opened it. "Meeting at the house. 8 p.m.
Come alone."
Amy read over my shoulder. "It's a trap," she said. I shut my laptop. "Maybe, but I'm going anyway." "You want backup?"
No.
"It's time to end this." The house looked smaller than I remembered, its shadow long in the evening light. My father was sitting alone on the porch steps, looking much older than 63. "Your mother's not here," he said as I walked up. "I asked her to let me handle this." "Handle what?" I asked. He pulled out a thick stack of papers. "We found these in Lily's old room. She left them when they ran." I looked through them, printouts of emails, bank records, and texts. A clear trail of their plan to steal the money and disappear. "You knew," I said quietly. "You knew all along." He rubbed his face. We thought you wouldn't go through with it. You never do. You always forgive. You always fix things." "Not anymore," I said. "The collection agency called again," he continued. "They're talking about fraud. Criminal charges." I looked him in the eye. "Actions have consequences, Dad." He looked up at me, his eyes filled with tears. "She's your sister. And I'm your daughter," I said. "Did that ever matter to you?" Silence hung between us. Heavy. Years of unspoken pain sitting right there between us. "We got a call from Lily an hour ago," he finally said. "Their visas are being canceled. Kevin's business partners are pulling out. They're stuck." "Karma doesn't whisper," I said. "It hits loud." "Can't you stop this?" he asked. I sat down beside him on the steps but kept my distance. "Do you remember when I was 17 and wanted to go to that summer coding camp?" I asked. He stared ahead, saying nothing. "You said we couldn't afford it." 1 month later, Lily said she needed a new laptop for her photography hobby. "You got her the best one money could buy." "Barbara, I'm not fixing this," I said, standing up. "I'm done fixing everything." My phone buzzed. A video call from Lily. I answered it, holding the screen so my father could see. "They're freezing our accounts." Lily was crying, mascara running down her face. "Kevin's business people are talking about fraud. What's happening?" "The truth is happening," I said calmly. "How's that going for you?" "We're stuck here. The embassy won't help. Our credit cards don't work." "Sounds like a you problem." She spotted our dad in the frame and screamed, "Tell her to stop this." He looked at both of us, confused and helpless. I don't know how." "That's right," I said. "For once, you don't know how to fix something for her. Weird feeling, isn't it?" Lily's face twisted with anger. "You evil, jealous." I ended the call. My father stood slowly, still holding the stack of papers in his shaking hands. "What do you want from us?" he asked. "I want you to sit in this mess you helped create. I want you to feel what it's like when no one rushes in to save you. I want you to understand what you did to me all these years. We loved you." "No. You used me. There's a difference."
My phone buzzed again.
A message from Amy. The fraud department wants to schedule an interview. Ready for the final nail? I looked at my father, this man who always took the easy way out, who let my mother and sister use me for years. I have to go, I said. I have a meeting about fraud charges. Please, he whispered. We're family. I paused by my car. That stopped meaning anything the day you chose her over me for the last time. As I drove off, I looked in the mirror and saw him still standing there, holding those papers, all alone in the dark outside the house where I had learned one painful truth. Blood means nothing when love only flows one way. The collection agency didn't waste time. Within a week, they started taking my parents' assets. From my office window, I saw the listing for their vacation house go live. The same house I once dreamed of inheriting, now listed for a quick sale. A few days later, my mother showed up at my office without warning. Her makeup was perfect, but her eyes were red from crying. They're taking everything, she said. Not everything, I replied. I kept typing on my computer and said, I'm not doing anything to you. This is just the result of what you put at risk. Why are you doing this to us? My mother asked. I'm not, I said calmly. The contract is. She slammed her hand on my desk. Look at me when I'm talking to you. I looked up and met her eyes. Like how you looked at me when I begged you not to take my college fund. That was different. You always say that. But it wasn't different. It was just another time you chose Lily over me. My phone buzzed. An email popped up from the fraud investigation team. Interview scheduled with Lily and Kevin via video call. Your presence is requested. They're investigating Lily for fraud? My mother whispered, reading over my shoulder. She could go to jail. She should have thought of that before planning to run away from her debts, I said. My mother sat down in the chair across from me, looking shocked. How did you become so cold? I learned from the best. I turned my screen toward her and showed Lily's latest social media post. It was a video, Lily crying and talking about being hurt by a toxic family. She's scared, my mom said. No, she's manipulating again, I replied. Only this time it won't work.
My phone rang.
It was Amy. Turn on the news, she said. No hello. I opened a live news stream from a local business channel. Kevin was being escorted out of a meeting by security. The headline at the bottom of the screen read, Local startup founder under investigation for international fraud. My mom covered her mouth. Oh God. Actions and consequences, I said quietly. Funny how that works. They're stranded, she said softly. Their visas are gone. Their accounts are frozen. Like how my bank accounts were empty after I paid for Dad's surgery, I said. When I lived on ramen for 3 months while Lily posted pictures from Paris. The office door opened. My dad walked in, looking tired and defeated. We sold the vacation house, he said. Below market price, but it'll cover part of the debt. Congratulations, I said. You're finally learning about financial responsibility. Only took 63 years. Barbara, my mom said, we can still fix this. As a family. We were never a family, I replied. We were just a support system for Lily. There's a big difference.
My phone buzzed again.
A message from an unknown number. This is Kevin. Please, we're desperate. The embassy won't help. Lily's having panic attacks. Name your price. I showed the message to my parents. Now he wants to make a deal. Interesting how people suddenly want to talk when the money runs out. What are you going to do? My dad asked. I started typing. My price. I said out loud. Everything you took from me, plus interest. Tell him to calculate it. I'll wait. They don't have that kind of money, my mom said, panicked. Neither did I replied. Not when you took my college fund. Not when Dad needed surgery. Not when Lily needed bail, that one time. But somehow I found a way. My computer pinged again, another email from the fraud investigators, asking for more documents. I opened the folder labeled receipts. I have a meeting to get ready for, I said, standing up. You can let yourselves out. Wait, my father said. The house, they're talking about putting a lien on it. Then you better start packing, I replied. My mother broke down into tears. Real ones this time. not the fake cries I grew up hearing whenever she wanted something. "Why did you do this to us?" she sobbed. I walked to the door and opened it. "You did this to yourselves. I just put it in writing." After they left, I sat back down and checked my email. Lily had sent a long, messy message, one of her usual apologies, the kind she only sent when she wanted help. I didn't read it. I deleted it right away. Amy appeared in the doorway. "Ready for the fraud interview tomorrow?" "Ready to end this," I said. "They're your family," she said softly. "No," I answered, pulling up the final piece of proof, photos of my parents helping Lily pack her bags 3 days before the wedding. "They're just people I share DNA with. Real family wouldn't have done this."
My phone buzzed again.
A text from Lily.
"I'm sorry.
"I really mean it this time. Please help us." I replied with 5 simple words. "Sorry doesn't pay back $80,000. Then I turned off my phone, opened the fraud case files, and started preparing my statement. Tomorrow was the final nail, the one that would end not only the case, but every last tie they had ever used to pull me back into their lies. This time, I would end the story my way. The beach was quiet. Just me and the seagulls. I sat on the sand, holding the final notice from the collection agency. Debt resolved through asset sales.
Case closed."
My phone buzzed. A message from Amy, a news article. Local couple caught trying to sneak across the border. Now in custody. I smiled. Lily and Kevin had tried to re-enter the country through Italy. It didn't work. Another buzz. A message from my mother. "They're being held for questioning. Please help." I typed back. New phone. "Who's this?" The wind blew, scattering her next 5 messages across the sand before I could even read them. I didn't try to pick them up. Then my laptop chimed. An email from the fraud team. "Thank you for your help. Charges have been filed." "Good," I whispered to the waves. A shadow fell across my screen. I looked up. My father stood there, wearing a suit that now looked too big for him. He sat down beside me in the sand, slow and heavy. "The house is sold," he said. "We're moving into an apartment next week. Downsizing can be healthy," I said. "Your mother," he paused. "She's not handling it well." And he trailed off, picked up a handful of sand, and let it fall between his fingers. "I'm not here to ask for anything," he finally said. "I'm here to say you were right," my dad said. I closed my laptop. "About everything," he continued. "We failed you. We let Lily drain you dry. We weren't parents to you. We were just helping her take from you." His voice cracked. "Took you long enough to realize," I said. "I saw the spreadsheet," he added, "the one with all the money you gave us over the years. Did you know the total is almost the same as what your mother and I just lost in assets?" "Karma's good at math," I said quietly. He pulled an envelope from his jacket. "We found this in Lily's old room. It's addressed to you, dated the day before the wedding." I opened it. It was a note in Lily's handwriting. "Dear Elle, by the time you read this, we'll be gone. Thanks for being such a reliable ATM all these years. Don't worry, Mom and Dad will guilt you into fixing this too. They always do. Love, Lily." "She never saw you as a sister," my dad said softly. "And we didn't treat you like a daughter. We treated you like a solution." I folded the note carefully. "And now?" I asked. "Now we see you as someone we lost because of what we did," he said. He stood up and brushed the sand off his pants. "I'm not asking you to forgive us. I just wanted you to know you were right." My phone buzzed. A message from Amy. "Holy, Lily and Kevin are facing federal charges. Your parents' statement sealed it." I looked up at him. "You testified against them?" "We told the truth," he said simply. "Finally." He turned to leave, then paused. "That spreadsheet, the total amount you gave us, it could have bought this beach house." "It did," I said, motioning to the beautiful home behind us. "I closed the deal this morning." His eyes widened. "You bought the vacation house we had to sell?"
"Yes."
"Below market value because you needed to sell it fast." I stood and dusted off my legs. Funny how things come full circle. He nodded once, as if he finally understood. Then he walked away. I watched him disappear down the beach, He looked smaller than ever before. My phone lit up again. A video call from Lily from a detention center. I answered. "They're charging us with fraud," she cried. Mom and Dad testified. "How could they? How could you leave me with $80,000 in debt?" "That's different," she added. "We're family." "Not anymore," I said. I held up my keys. "Remember this view? The beach house you loved? It's mine now. Legally. Forever. And you're never stepping foot inside it." You. I ended the call and blocked the number. Amy appeared at the top of the stairs leading down to the beach, holding 2 champagne glasses. "Ready to celebrate the new house?" she asked. "Almost," I said. I pulled up my banking app. Everything was in the black. Every account in my name. No cosigners. No guilt. No family debt. "To karma," Amy said, handing me a glass. "To contracts," I said, smiling. I smiled and added, "and to finally choosing myself." We clinked our glasses as the sun set behind my new beach house, lighting everything in soft golden colors that felt like justice. My phone stayed quiet. No more calls about family emergencies. No more guilt. No more manipulation. Just peace. A home in my name. And the sound of waves, gently washing the past away. Sometimes revenge doesn't shout. Sometimes it shows up in quiet ways in legal papers and property titles. Sometimes it's simply closing the door on people who only saw you as the one to fix their mess. And sometimes it feels just like this. Like freedom.